So the issues, again, another photograph here, looking up from the air, looking south on Broadway to 17th Street and Union Square West. The main problem with this area is the need to sort of wrap Broadway around the park. And what that means is we've got 17th Street, which is an odd street, wanting to be a westbound street, and Broadway coming south, and almost all of the traffic of Broadway wanting to go left, and 17th Street having to be a two-way street, sort of doubling its width and being 4 lanes wide. What this means is to move this traffic safely, we need a traffic signal for 17th Street and traffic signal for Broadway. At both of those times, no pedestrians can walk. And so we don't let pedestrians walk when Broadway turns left. Many of them do. They have to wait for a third phase of the walk signal to walk across 17th Street. There's many pedestrian conflicts and too many crashes, and it's a confusing sort of non-traditional, what we call non-normal traffic pattern. The normal intersection is a T, is a cross, where one street gets to go and the peds walk in the same direction and the other street gets to go, and you only sort of have to wait half the time instead of 2/3 of the time. This is a plan view with a couple of photographs that I'll explain of, this is Union Square, this is sort of the Barnes & Noble, Petco Rothman's block, and the 17th Street with its 4 lanes. The typical crosstown street is a lane for parking, a lane for parking, and a lane for traffic. There are 4 lanes, all for traffic, to sort of basically because of this confusing traffic pattern that we talked about in the photograph. The turn from Broadway to 17th Street and the return of that traffic to Park Avenue South. One of the interesting things is, because of the traffic on Park Avenue South, we need these 2 lanes of traffic even though the traffic volume is very low and has gotten lower, because most of the signal time at Park Avenue South is given to move Park Avenue South traffic. So the issue is we have traffic combining, southbound traffic combining into one street at Union Square. So we want to rectify that. For pedestrians, we have the issue of when 17th Street becomes double wide. You see the photo here. This is a Green Market truck. Another photo of the north side of Union Square Park. Because at the time we had to accommodate these 2 directions of traffic, there's basically no pedestrian right-of-way here. We have the tree pits and the street lights sort of right up against the north end of the park because we needed room for the Green Market on the other side. It means lots of folks choose to walk in the roadway, walk around the Green Market, not very safe from a pedestrian perspective, not good for traffic if you're having to stop for pedestrians walking in the roadway. So this diverted path where you have to go around the tree sort of into the plaza and back is something we want to rectify. This is sort of the first look at the plan of how we would rectify that. 17th Street would go from between Park Avenue South and Union Square West and Broadway, would go from 2-way to its natural 1-way westbound direction, carrying westbound traffic through. Because of that, our traffic signal would go from 3 phases to 2 phases and would be a normal intersection that you can cross 50% of the time when 17th Street is moving, you can cross east-west, and when it stops, you can cross north-south, and we actually only need 1 lane of traffic to move just like a regular old intersection anywhere in the grid in Manhattan, sort of restoring the natural flow of the grid. So that 2-phase intersection at this important gateway simplifies the intersection and improves safety. There are additional bicycle connections and pedestrian connections. We would be reducing Broadway to 1 lane, and what you see here is the diversion, a new pedestrian space, diverting the traffic, making a left turn onto 18th Street, which would be the last turn off of Broadway, and then Broadway would not be closed between 18th and 17th Street. Local access would be maintained via 18th and a right turn onto Broadway and 17th Street. Because of the 1-way pattern, we can accommodate many of the needs that aren't really met by the north side of Union Square Park, the south side of 17th Street. When we work with the Parks Department, for them it's the north side of Union Square Park. The Transportation Department is the south side of 17th Street. This now can serve everything it needs to do. We can have a pedestrian walkway, a bikeway that wraps around Union Square Park, and extra space for the green market and for pedestrians to breathe. Getting trucks off of the plaza, opening up the aisle on green market days, reducing congestion, getting pedestrians out of the road. And for those of you who don't want to shop at the green market, you just want to walk on 17th Street, a linear pedestrian connection.